at home.
I think you should have passed your test, though, Danielle.
That's why. Inertia. Like, what was inertia?
Rollin', 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 eat that swollen colon.
Wow.
Wow.
That's our new opening theme for the 15-Minute Morning Show podcast.
That does not sound delicious.
No, it does not.
So welcome to the day. We've got Scotty B.
Hi.
Scotty B in Master Control, and there's Danielle and Gandhi and Straight Nate, and there's Gary and there's Garrett.
What up?
And here we go. Is that it? I think that's all of us.
That's all of us.
Good. So when we sat down to do this podcast yesterday, it was interrupted by, well, an awful series of events that happened here at our New York City studios. You can see it, by the way, if you watch or listen to yesterday's 15-Minute Morning Show podcast. So let's try to get through this one without incident, shall we?
Cool.
Knock on wood.
It was 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know if we're going to be on the air today because the studios were all dead.
It really was touch and go. We were talking last night, Elvis. You had talked to some of the higher ups, and it did not sound good.
No.
Oh, wow.
It did not sound good.
No.
I didn't know that.
They didn't know they're going to get us up. But thank God we have a lot of smart people working with us here in New York City to battle the evil forces that took us off. And we won. They won. They were the victors.
Could we have done the show from the unknown backup site that they said that they were broadcasting from?
We weren't prepared for that. No. If there's a... The thing is, the engineering team was so busy scurrying around trying to get everything back on the air here, they wouldn't have time to go out there and set us up.
I felt bad even asking status because I knew they were busy every second from the moment we left here yesterday. I felt awkward saying, hey, how's it going? Because they were busy for every waking second.
I was so scared to ask Furious George a question. Like, I needed to ask him something, and he was staring at his computer. And I just tiptoed up, and I just walked away.
Yeah, because furious is usually furious when nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So imagine when something's happening.
Well, he was here working diligently, so George was a part of the solution, and we appreciate him very much. Hey, Scotty, move your mic because we can't see you on the camera.
Yeah. Last time he touched the mic, though.
Yeah.
Last time you touched the mic, the whole world blew up. So just for a quick recap, I mean, there's 5 radio stations and a ton of production studios here at iHeart in New York City, and they all went dead at the same time. It was the weirdest thing.
Do you remember years ago, Elvis, we had a similar problem here in New York, and we were actually preparing to go to Philly to do the show. Do you remember that?
Yep.
It's like 9 o'clock at night. We're like, okay, well, we're going to Philly. And then they somehow got it working. Hours later, it just
well, that's what happens when we've moved on with the technology. Everything is on digital. Everything is computers. Back in the day, if something went wrong, it was local to that little thing because every little thing was controlled by a piece of little machinery, and that was easy. You couldn't take a whole network of radio stations off the air because of some data glitch.
Back then, it was just snow on the satellite dish.
Yes.
That was it.
Right.
Crazy.
See, my problem right now with how we're doing this, and maybe this is kind of boring for people who aren't into what we do, is that there's so much technology that comes out that's cheaper to manufacture, less expensive to install, and so we're relying on that to keep us on the air. So they've taken away all, like, there's a thing called a T1 line, which is a connection that's the best connection ever to connect us from here to wherever, like LA, whatever. Yeah. Those are all gone. Now we use the same shit you have in your own house to play video games. To run these radio stations.
Right.
And so when they fail, they're like, I don't know what went wrong. I tell you what went wrong. Everyone's cheaping out, man. We're like relying on technology that's made for everyone. We don't need that. We need the heavy duty stuff.
I think a great analogy, Elvis, would be like going to the Titanic in a submersive using a PS5 controller. That's what we're doing here.
Oh, that's right.
No, that never works out well.
Yeah, no.
So you know
that's what we're doing.
So yesterday, just to let people in, like when we went off the air and everybody else did too, it was the equivalent of like when you have a blackout on your block and everybody comes outside and be like, hey, is your house off? Everybody from their prospective radio stations poke their head out the door and go, hey, you off the air? We're off the air too. You off the air? You off the air?
That is what happened. Greg T was walking around the hallway. Are you back on yet? Did you get back on? Power came on. Are you guys back on? Wait,
What
no,
does he
we're not
care?
back on.
He was off the air before it happened.
I know.
Greg T
You know
gets
what's
off at
funny?
8:30. Greg T gets off at 8:30 in the
I
morning.
know, but he was still very concerned and walking around asking people. So I don't know.
He says he does some type of work in one of
Yes.
those little production studios.
That's what he was doing, production.
So the other fun thing was my studio that I use for production, it was working. Every now and then, like the computer audio would drop out. You just wait a minute, it comes back. So people were trying to find which studios were working and then displace you from your studio so they could get in there. I was like, oh, hell no. We're all doing the same work.
You
at the
gotta
same
be
time.
nice and quiet. No, this studio isn't working.
Yeah.
Move along.
Offline.
The other thing, like straight out of a movie, is we called Los Angeles to see if they were still hearing our show, and as I was talking to someone over there, they're like, "Yeah, we're trying to figure it out." And then you hear in the background, "The Breakfast Club is off the air. The Breakfast Club is off the air. What are we doing? Elvis is off the air, but the Breakfast Club is off the air."
Panic.
I am still
Panic
not
across the continent.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
still not convinced it wasn't sabotage. I'm sorry.
Jesus, Danielle, don't give me ideas.
She's got conspiracy theories.
And
Hey,
you talk
never know.
about people at home sitting there with their little Nintendo Switch, and you're saying it's the same kind of. Who knew?
Too many kids playing
knows?
Roblox. yesterday.
Danielle, I'm not discounting what you're saying at all. You never, ever know.
It was just really weird that everybody went down. I don't know.
I'd like to request something from the hackers, though, if
Yeah.
in fact there are people hacking. Instead of this nonsense, can you just eliminate like our credit card debt and student loan debt?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be
Hospital
lovely.
bills, like delete all that information. Leave the radio station alone.
Yeah.
Can you go back to my
Thank
high
you.
school records and make me an A+ student?
Yeah.
What do
Why
you
not?
care? Wait, the permanent record?
Yes,
Did that follow you?
I'm sure it did. It still bothers me to this day that I've flunked Texas history.
Remember that bullshit that they would... You're like, oh, that's going on your permanent record.
Permanent.
Where is that record? I want to see what's on my permanent record right now.
That's awesome. I never thought of that. Whatever happened to my permanent record? And I never got
What's
to
permanent?
see. I never got to see what.
It's like a tattoo. It's still there somewhere.
Wait, can we go back to something real quickly? Didn't you grow up in Texas
Yes.
and you flunked Texas history?
Yes.
Damn. Was there
I had to
something-
learn the Texas alphabet. A is for Austin. B is for Bowie. C is for Crockett. D is for De Zavala.
What?
E is for, I think it was De Zavala.
Okay.
I can only get to like G, and then I flunked.
Oh, that sucks.
Well,
I don't think it held you back, though.
Did you hide
I
that
will
from
tell
your?
you-
Permanent record.
Wait, do I hide it? What?
Did you hide it from your parents, or did you just?
Oh, no. No, what happened was I was so into extracurricular activities, I rarely made it to class. And I didn't know that when you don't make it to class, even if you're doing something for the school, they take points off. So I was not going to pass and graduate high school. And it so happened that the guy who taught our class was also a member of the Ku Klux Klan that I found out.
Oh,
What?
boy.
He was a hick. Oh, God, what an
Yikes.
idiot. And so someone may have mentioned to him that if he didn't pass me, that there would be an outing.
Oh.
Whoa.
What
And
was
so
the K in
I-
the Texas alphabet for?
I don't remember. That's not my point.
Ku Klux?
Now I'm thinking.
Kitty.
It's for KKK. I think he. Oh, my screen went off. He was about to be outed as a member of the KKK because someone I know in my family did some background checks.
Wow.
Wow.
So I
look at
passed with a
that.
C-, kid. C-.
Whoa. We're learning so much.
I need to
So there's that.
blackmail people more. I feel like that's an underused skill.
That's how I passed my
Cool.
driving test. It
You
wasn't
blackmailed someone?
No, it wasn't blackmail.
The KKK?
But, no, and it wasn't the KKK, but I'm saying cheating. Like, I went in and it was like the third time I took the written test, and I was like sitting there and I was like, I didn't read the book. I don't know. So the guy who was giving the test came over and he goes, what are you struggling with? And I was like, this one and this one. He goes, all right. He gave me the answers and I passed.
Oh my God.
And that's how I passed gym.
Is it?
No, I gave my gym teacher Big Mac coupons and I didn't have to play.
We're cheating the system. People,
Yeah.
don't do this at home.
I think you should have passed your test, though, Danielle.
That's why. Inertia. Like, what was inertia? I think that was, I knew what that was. But there was other things. I
body
was
in
just
motion
like,
stays
who
in
needs
motion.
this crap?
A body at rest tends to stay at rest. That's the
know.
law of inertia.
Isaac.
When I took my driver's license test, because I let it expire, and then I had to start all over,
Yeah.
so I was like in my temps class with 15-year-olds. It was during COVID. The instructor for the actual driving test didn't even get in a car. I was in a car in the parking lot with my sister in the back seat. You had to drive around in a square and then parallel park between cones.
damn.
And they said if you talk to the person in the back seat, you fail. but someone has to be in the car with you that's a licensed driver. I got my license. It was like the worst. I mean, everyone driving who got their license at that time could be terrible.
Wow.
Could be terrible.
That's crazy.
Well, we are learning a lot about each other. You know, see, out of despair and tragedy comes a nice meeting of the family that loves each other.
Is there a written test everywhere to get your driver's license?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Except in Florida, they just renew it when you're 90 and blind. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and when I lived in Arizona, it was good for like 35 or 40 years or some shit like that. Like the license did not expire for like 35 or 40 years.
I will never forget. My grandmother's caretaker. She was 88. My grandmother's caretaker drove her to the DMV. She walked in. She signed a form, and they renewed her license. No eye test. No nothing.
Dear
I mean, this is a long
Really?
time ago, but still, it's insane that they did that.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad shouldn't be driving. He lives in Florida.
But he's the
For
cutest.
sure. Oh, yeah, that's great. Cute behind the wheel, just banging into all the guardrails. It's great.
You know what?
Yeah, that's not good.
Back to the Texas alphabet. I think A wasn't Austin. I think it was Alamo.
That would make sense.
You should remember that.
I'm surprised C wasn't Cowboys.
Because, remember the Alamo.
Yeah,
got
Alamo.
that?
Yeah. C was for Crockett. He was but Austin was a big dude in Texas.
This says A is for armadillo.
No, that's the modern day Texas alphabet.
Oh, okay.
Wait, was this the way you remembered the alphabet or remembered the...
No, it's Texas history.
for
gobbledygook.
Dallas?
Does every state have their own alphabet like that?
I don't
didn't
know.
have one.
I didn't.
I don't think
We
we
didn't
have
have
one.
it
Yeah,
in
we-
New York, no.
Do you remember Z Elvis?
New York,
It
A
was
would
a-
be asshole, B would be bastard,
Yep.
C would be
Yeah.
cocksucker.
No, C would be construction.
I think in Texas, Z was an explorer of some type.
Okay.
D is for detour. P is for pothole.
Exactly. New York has its own
M
very,
is for
very unique.
murder.
G
C
is
was for
garbage.
C is for cement blocks. Hey, did you hear a story about that? You know, cement blocks has been like in the conversation in New York with mobsters for years, saying, yeah, they found the guy at the bottom of the Hudson River with cement blocks. They've actually only found one person who actually had cement shoes, is what it is.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Where they put cement around his ankles and feet and throw him in the river.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, it's not really a popular thing.
I read that it's actually really difficult to keep a body underwater because after you die, all of the gases in your body like bloat you and you will float to the top.
Oh.
Even a lot of times if there's something really heavy tied to you, you'll still go.
That's why. That's why they find them like sometimes.
Yep.
You know, after. a
That's
certain-
why we put you in there in your car.
Oh my god.
There you go.
New York.
I'm still going. E is for extortion. T is for traffic.
Yep.
A is for agita. You have to be from New York to understand that. Are we done?
Yes.
Are we done?
Oh.
All right, have a beautiful day, and let's hope we have a radio station to come to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Love you. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.